Single-parent households are a common occurrence in South Africa, and more often than not, you will find that children grow up without their fathers in their lives. The importance of a father in a child's life can sometimes be underestimated or overlooked because it is something that we see almost every single day. But what is the effect of a lack of a father, and what effect does it have in the surrounding community? To speak to us more on this topic, I'm now joined by actor, director and activist for the Fatherhood Foundation, Zane Meas. Thank you so much for your time, Zane. We do appreciate it. And as I mentioned in my introduction, you know, the role of a mother is often seen as the most important, and we sometimes overlook the role of a father and what it does for a child growing up and for the community. Maybe just speak to us about how you, as an actor, director and an activist, are trying to emphasize the importance of fatherhood.
Yes, thank you so much. Great to be on the show. I run an organization, apart from being an actor, I run an organization called the Fatherhood Foundation of South Africa. And for the last 16 years, we've been going around the country speaking to the importance of fatherhood and positive male role modeling and mentorship. It's very vitally important. Statistics have shown that children who grow up without a father tend to have more incidents of teenage pregnancy, drug abuse, ending up in prison, all the negative social maladies that we are faced with today. Fathers are vitally important, and I think the roles of fathers have been so overlooked. And it's not the father's fault, because many fathers are just absent. In fact, women have now got to play dual roles. South Africa, at the moment, has got a percentage of 2/3 of families are single-parent households. Most of those run by women. So dads are just missing, and they're not fighting a war. They're not dead. They're just not at home. So our job is to get men to come home firstly, because the home is the place of the greatest influence for men. To get men to just play a positive role in their homes firstly. That is what we are advocating for.
I want to ask you, in terms of the groundwork that you do and engaging with fathers, especially young fathers, because that is definitely a reality. We're seeing more and more teenage pregnancies. Oftentimes you have these young fathers that either shy away from their role as a father, are embarrassed, or whatever it might be. What are the realities and the circumstances you are finding on the ground, especially with young fathers?
Well, let me just say that firstly, what we are finding is that these young fathers are caught in a cycle. Sadly, it's a cycle that has been perpetuated by their fathers and their fathers before them. Positive male role modeling, as I said, is missing today. Of course, things like economic circumstances, joblessness, and those kind of things do play a role. But basically what is missing is men who don't know how to be fathers. They don't know how to run families. They don't know what to do in a home, because they themselves grew up without a father. So young men just kind of go to the default setting, you know, which is not to show emotion, which is to be tough, because they think that's what men need to do. And they become the strong, silent types. You know, and we've spoken in all 9 provinces to men of all races and ages. And we found that men are either become hard-headed about their situation, or they're still very childish about it. You know, that's a very sad reality. But these young men are lost in a cycle. They don't know what to do. They don't have a map road leading them forward as to what to do. Most of the boys that we deal with certainly don't know what positive male role modeling is, which is why we see such an uptick in gender-based violence. And neither do they know how to care for their families, which is why we see so many single mums in society today. Single mums are playing 2 roles. They've got to play mommy and daddy. You know, and they're not built that way. They weren't designed. They certainly didn't make children on their own. Why are they bringing kids up by themselves? It's because, firstly, these kids don't know what to do, and secondly, they don't have the economic means to care for their children and for the family. And so these are just 1 or 2 of the mitigating circumstances that we find South African young fathers find themselves in.
It really is heartbreaking, Zane, especially when you see how, you know, you want people to break the cycle. You want people to change the circumstances in their communities, and they just get drawn into that negative, toxic cycle that perpetuates GBV, perpetuates absent fathers. And I ask this in the context of the fact that you see GBV increasing. It's often done at the hands of a father or a husband, and oftentimes you also see it from very young people, and you ask yourself, but what are we doing wrong? Through your organization, how are you trying to make a difference? But also, people say to me, stop asking what government's role is in all of this, because, clearly it's not working. But it is an important question to ask, because it often starts at home, it moves into the community, and then it also moves into our schools.
Yes. Our role as the Fatherhood Foundation of South Africa is to get men to understand the importance of fatherhood and how just important that is, and positive male role modeling. As I keep saying this, but because we have attending social media campaigns like #MEnAreTrash.
Sadly, it seems as though we have lost Zane. Perhaps we can try and reestablish that line as he was speaking about the importance of fatherhood, and that it is Father's Day tomorrow. I actually forgot about that because my father's all the way in Greece at the moment. But we'll try and reestablish that line. Let's go to a quick ad break, and we'll be back after this. Do stay with us.